I'll break it off in your ass.
Let's just did breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
No bullshit.
Get ready for it. Next week's news today, no bullshit news, February 5th, 2021. Brought to you by Share, Share, Share. Share, Share, Share. Tell all your friends. If you don't share, we don't come back.
Exactly.
Oh, we're hot. We're so hot. We're so hot. We got ripped off like big time last week.
Three big things. At least three big things.
Before we go into that, Detroit Red is also out on the street in the frozen tundra, digging up the dirt on the dirt.
Literally.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might be bad. We might have another
perfect day for it.
Dumping scandal. You can't trust the government. You can't trust these people. Oh, but watch this. Another one. Eric Starkman from Los Angeles, right? The man, a longtime journalist, right? Writes a blog, StarkmanApproved.com. Go there. He's awesome. He's the guy who's been tearing Beaumont up, telling you what you need to know because nobody in Detroit will fucking do it. It's a goddamn sin over there. So he's going to be joining us. Plus, next week's news today. More of it, folks. Hey, man, somebody stole the police helicopter.
What?
Yeah, boy. Somebody stole the Detroit police helicopter.
Seriously?
That's what sources say.
What?
Our man in the department, retired officer John Bennett, reporting. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I'm telling you, right? Whitmer's fake COVID science. Look, again, COVID's real. All you liberal people are all like all those conservative people. You got to go with facts, folks. Even if you love her, you got to hold her feet to the fire, or we're not going to get anywhere. You're screwing me.
Amen.
We bring in facts. Adult foster care deaths of the workers. We'll bring you that. The flu numbers. Apparently there is no flu this year. Right? Crime in Detroit, unemployment in Detroit. So long, Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I love you. Are the Pistons for sale? And again, Red, live at the demo hole. Share, share, share. As always, American Coney Island is a sponsor of the No Bullshit News Hour, good friends of ours. Remember that Esquire names American Coney Island one of the 100 restaurants in America that we can't afford to lose to COVID. We lose them, we lose who we are. It's So Detroit, the originator of the Regional Delight, the Coney. Right? Proprietary dogs, proprietary chili, Vidalia onions, mustard, delicious buns at Michigan and Lafayette downtown. You can now dine in.
Yes.
Come on down. Come on down, support. It's clean. And I won't even tell you what's going on at Lafayette. I guess you all know.
You mean regarding what we talked about last week? That's one of the stories, right?
That's one of the stories. We'll get to
interesting.
it. Okay. Or the
really,
Coney
really
kids.
interesting.
We did like 600 Coney kids for Super Bowl.
Really?
It took like 12 hours.
That's a perfect Super
It really
Super
is.
Bowl.
Look, you can go to AmericanConeyIsland.com. Support, support, support. Share, share, share. All right, give me Nowackies.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Every hour on the hour.
Oh, wrong one.
that's the other guy you playing.
I guess they all sound the same to me.
Oh, you didn't see it.
Joking.
Thank you, Maurice Davis. King of the Party Blues, friend, City Councilman Maurice Davis. Bringing us in with Luke Nowacki.
When it comes to security and investment,
You call Luke
there's only
Nowacki.
one company.
Should you go short or should you exercise a long put? Should you naked yourself with the short or cover yourself with the put? What does that mean? You call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748. You whack job millennials
Yeah.
trying to get rich on one stock.
It's going to take more than one day.
Like, listen here. You're not part of the ruling elite. That's why you're in your mom's basement gambling on stock. That's not a way to put a future together. Listen, It's never too early to start saving and planning for retirement. Planning for that house.
And call the one and only.
Get yourself on the right track. Call financial specialist Luke Nowak at 248-663-4748. Grow your assets from annuities to individual retirement accounts to college savings plans to good old stocks and bonds. That's our friend Luke Nowacki.
After all,
Hit
I'm
it.
talking about the Royal Alliance Associates Incorporated.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Royal
What a
Alliance
segue.
Associates Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Royal Alliance Associates Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Royal Alliance Associates Inc.
All genres.
That was a new one.
Maybe it's one that just doesn't get as much rotation as the
I
other
liked
ones.
it. I liked it. Hi, Karen.
Hey,
Welcome aboard, Karen.
thank you.
The Love Boat. Okay, Karen,
Yes.
do you remember last week when breaking news? You missed it.
Sorry.
All right, we'll take that up in post.
No, we won't.
Breaking news. There you go. That's just on your feet. Remember when we said that Macomb County prosecutor, former state senator Pete Lucido, had referred Gretchen Whitmer to a panel of prosecutors in the state? There you go.
Better late than never, maybe? I don't know.
To see if it's justifiable to bring some kind of criminal charges against Whitmer for handling of the nursing homes. Remember that?
I remember that.
We weren't even off the air, Karen, before all the TV stations were calling.
Charlie, I say this all the time, and you have to take that as a compliment. I mean, for the most part, we can see who's tuning in and listening. But if those that we don't see, all we have to do is wait for a couple hours and see what posted, what comes up. People listen to you. They know that you do the homework that they either can't or are not willing to do.
Well,
So
come on.
you got to take that as a compliment, Charlie.
I'm
You
down
do.
here. I'm down here in the garden mezzanine, Karen.
Lower level.
Leaving mainstream to prove a point. The point was, at first this was just a social experiment, right? Hey, like we could compete with them, and now it's become real. Now we're the cheat sheet. It's copyrighted.
It's not. But sadly,
not. I don't care.
I mean, you're out of that mainstream, but you're still setting the pace and elevating the bar. So keep going. Just keep going.
You're doing the work.
I mean,
You're
come
tearing
on.
it up, man.
No, it's not copyrighted, and I don't care. But be big about it. Be professional. We're all young, made mistakes. You know what to do now. I know you're watching. Give a mention so we can hang around and help and give you stuff to do, like the Great Coney Caper. Mark, tell them about the Great Coney Caper if they didn't listen last week.
With the so David Portnoy comes in. Barstool Sports does his bit. It gets big. The problem is he's in Grace's in American Coney Island
And Lafayette.
5 feet from the door, eating a coney.
One dog.
Tasting
it.
One
which
dog.
he's known for.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Some people don't like Portnoy, Barstool, or just maybe see it as flouting the rules, and therefore they have the power to send someone in.
So someone sees it, someone complains to the state sends in the city, and the city goes to American, inspects them, gives them a warning, goes into Lafayette. They're not wearing a mask, right? They never do. They're nice guys. They just don't wear them right. And give them a $500 ticket. So I write it. Plus, they're ticketing their delivery vans. It went everywhere.
Ticketing the delivery van, too?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
With commercial plates, you can't do that. That shit went viral. It went on the news stations. It went on the local TV stations. It went on radio. It was in the newspapers.
Went viral.
Jesus. And you know what? Not a mention.
Of course not. Portnoy retweeted you, though, because he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows who did the work.
Well, here's the thing. So some chub, the food writer for the Free Press, whoever this guy is, I don't know who this guy is, right? I don't know who he is. Whatever, dude. Write something about restaurants and COVID. You don't do that. There's nothing to do. So why are you going on Twitter and saying, well, this is just a PR piece because you actually work at American Coney Island? Because on Deadline Detroit, where I write it, it wasn't in the story. You know why? Because everybody listening to this show and everybody that reads Deadline Detroit knows I work there. When I posted it on social media, I did the disclaimer, disclosure I worked there.
Frankly...
Well, what am I getting a lecture from this punk?
Who cares?
That's what I'm saying.
It's taking away from the point of the story, which was absolute bullshit.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a distraction.
That's what you do, dude. Give me a call. I guess we're not colleagues. Hey, bro, it might look good if you do that. Or, call Alan Langle at Deadline Detroit. We fixed it right away. No problem.
Yep.
Well, what's with the showing off? You didn't get a piece of the viral story? Now, here's the thing. Somebody else from the Free Press starts calling around, maybe going to do a story, basically checking up on me.
Really?
You don't need to check up on me. My shit's tight.
You're pretty much out there, too.
I think I got more grand juries in panel in this town than the whole court put together. I'm working my ass off. Fuck you, dude. And then they never did write it. They never did write one.
That's interesting.
Checking up. But everybody calling up trying to get a story is like, hey, we're following up on LeDuff's story. Are you going to put that in the fucking paper or not?
And it's distracting. It's distracting from the actual issue that they're ticketing. And didn't Kim Worthy, by the way, say, forget about those tickets?
Yes!
Thank you for doing the right thing.
The county prosecutor said, this is some bullshit, which is what we're about, folks. Look here. We're for the people. You're for us. Left, right, center, gay, straight, black, white, male, female. I don't care. You're my brother, you're my sister.
What was the third story? There was a third one, too.
The third story. Remember we were talking about GameStop and shorting stocks.
Yes.
Shorting stocks, right? How to play the market. And we said the most leveraged stock in Michigan. Shorted in the short position. People are betting against it. Is Rocket, Quicken Loan.
The new IPO from last year, yeah.
Bada bing! It shows up in the Free Press on Sunday. This huge fucking story.
It's crazy how that happens.
Now, I know the writer, and she's quite good. You don't write something like that Friday into Saturday. She's working on that one. That one's for real, Right,
that's fair.
That's fair. But still, scooped. That was a top four. That was a really good story, actually. It was very good.
Yeah.
But isn't that something?
Not surprised.
Okay, but then again, a couple weeks ago, a week before Snyder's indicted.
Yeah, you called it.
Who says it?
You called it.
Okay, and then the Monday following this show, the AP says it looks like he's going to be charged, and then everybody gives AP some credit.
Hey, we're just a little podcast, right? Isn't that?
I know this sounds really bad. Okay, start the show over. Never mind. Just fuck it. But okay, look, breaking news.
Yes.
For all the people in the media here with a lack of imagination or sources, here's one. Breaking news. Live from New Jersey, the Martians have landed near the Meadowlands. We go to our correspondent.
By the woods, the gas tanks for the automobiles spreading everywhere. It's coming this way now, about 20 yards to my right.
Oh, did we lose him? Holy shit.
Wow. Well, someone's going to have to follow up on that.
Well, there you
story.
go, Cranes. The Martians have landed. Go ahead.
They're killing.
Send your guy out there. Whatever.
What a mess.
Okay, look, let's
What are you breaking this week, man?
Martians landed in the Meadowlands.
Well, okay, what else?
Okay, listen. This is the part of the show, of the program, where we bring in a heavyweight, right? It's the business writer, Eric Starkman, long time writer guy. Where'd you work, Eric? Like Troy News? Where else?
Toronto Star, Montreal Gazette, the Wall Street Journal, and American Banker.
Those, like the Toronto Star and the Wall Street Journal, are like
heavyweights,
like international top flight.
Yeah.
Troy News. Well, when you were there. Okay, so he's been tearing Beaumont up, but I want to just let you know that this business moment is brought to you by, let me get one of these on. David Hall Mortgage, right? Mm-hmm. We want to thank David Hall for supporting us, supporting Drew, supporting Elric, supporting Denny, everybody, really, seriously. They want you to know rates are currently in the 2s. They're not going lower. Let's go. Let's move, people. Call today and find out how much a refi could save you every month. Get with it. Telling you, right?
And they're super simple to use, too.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Super simple.
Yeah.
Quickly.
I can't say enough good things about them.
What, you go on the website, click, get started, boom. You need help, you go right to a live person, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Exactly. DavidHallMortgage.com or call 248-308-5000, 248-308-5000, and make sure you tell them we sent you here from the No Bullshit News Hour, or don't. Quite frankly.
No, I think they should. Please do.
Okay, please do. Well, then they're going to find out, like, this isn't doing anything for them.
Hey, they're not shorted.
All right, let me bring in Eric Starkman. Hey, brother, how you doing?
Great to be here. Been looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm going to tell you what. How do I do this? Okay, I'm going to do it like it's the telephone. Hold on a second. I just, when you do the pre-interviews.
Yeah. Oh, no. Now you're all tangled up in wires.
Eric, what's up, brother? You've been fucking killing it, man.
Thank you.
And you can write. The thing is, you can write. It's not boring. Did Mark and Karen, did you do the homework?
Yes.
Did you read these things?
Yes, and it's you're taking a very complex issue and really stripping it down for people with small brains like myself.
Snappy.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's so much to digest with what's going on with Beaumont.
Let's start out with this. Eric, what's going on at Beaumont? Well, what is Beaumont and what's going on at Beaumont?
Well, Beaumont's the biggest hospital in Michigan, and it's seen a mass exodus of more than a dozen top surgeons, a mass exodus of their anesthesiology department of anesthesiologists, and there was a colonoscopy patient who passed away 2 weeks ago at Beaumont, undergoing a routine colonoscopy, and that's unheard of in medicine.
It is. Okay, now look here. I want you to relax, because this is not like the phone conversation. You're playing TV here. I don't want no TV. Let's start with this. The CEO at Beaumont, the biggest hospital chain in Michigan, right? The top 50 hospitals in America. We all know Beaumont is the place that you want to go in Royal Oak. And through your reporting, you show under the stewardship of CEO John Fox, who's an accountant, not a medical expert, that the quality and the reputation are going down the toilet. Is this correct?
Yes, but I want to just correct you on one thing. According to people who work at Beaumont, many of them tell me they wouldn't take their own families to that hospital. So, that's the place you want to go in Royal Oak. I think there's some people who work there that would dispute that. In fact, I know there are.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They'd like to have you on. The reason it's near my home. That was when I got here. That was the place you went.
Well, it used to be the place. So what happened? Why the quick demise?
Yeah. Why?
Well, it's not a quick demise, but it was precipitated by they decided to bring in this outsourcing firm that's pretty controversial. They undercut everybody. And, I'll keep it simple. By bringing this firm in, they lost, my sources tell me it's about 50% of their anesthesiologists that were working there. But, Beaumont, which does have a credibility issue, they've said things that proven not to be true, claims that 75% remain. But regardless, there's been a huge turnover in anesthesiology. And, I've talked to experts in the field that says that kind of turnover in itself is dangerous, to have that many new people coming and going. And in this case, they're using a lot of temps or people from other hospitals to fill in the position.
So wait, let's go like this. So John Fox comes in. This is a nonprofit, Beaumont. The cat's making $6 million a year, something like that. Is that right? Do I remember your reporting right? $6 million. He's brought in to create more income, profit for a nonprofit. So he does that. In 2019, net income nearly triples. But at the same time, what we realized in January, they outsource the anesthesiologists, right?
Yes.
It's some company named
North Star.
Well, it's nicknamed in the industry Death Star, but it's actually called North Star.
Why is that? What's this reputation from?
I mistakenly reported that I assumed North Star was a reference to the Star Wars films, that could destroy all planets. But somebody from Beaumont called me and says that it's called Death Star because of the reputation that it has within the industry. And I'll let you connect the dots.
So do they deal specifically with anesthesiologists or all medical outsourcing kind of stuff?
They just do anesthesiology.
Just anesthesiology.
That's all they do.
So this is one cost-cutting measure that Fox brings in to increase profit. You have on-call anesthesiologists. You have fewer of them. They're less, let's say, I don't want to put anybody down. They're not the top of the heap. They're not the cream of the crop like Beaumont had, right?
What Beaumont had, they had people that were trained at Johns Hopkins and Harvard. And, the other thing that's really critical that I really would like to drive home is, Beaumont is filled with people who are committed to Michigan, and the entire management is from outside. John Fox has a home in Atlanta. He's got another home in North Carolina. He put his house up for sale over a year ago. The rest of the management, they all thought they could unload this hospital and get out of town. That deal fell through, but they were clearly headed out the door because they all sold their houses.
So wasn't there supposed to be a merger with, what's the company, Advocate Aurora? Is that correct?
That's the company. And at the time, that was like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but the two hospitals weren't equal. Beaumont in its day was a world-class, it was a gem of a hospital. It was ranked easily among the top 50 in the country. Its surgical business was it's one of the busiest surgical hospitals in the country, or at least it was before they lost all these surgeons. And they had this coterie of anesthesiology staff that, all the surgeons felt really good about. And you see, the one thing people don't appreciate about anesthesiology, the profession's done a great job of making it safe. So the likelihood of things going wrong is usually pretty small.
Yeah.
But you need a John Scully. You remember Captain Scully that landed the U.S. airplane into the Hudson? Mm-hmm. You need top-tier anesthesiologists when, I guess I can say it on this show, when shit happens. And they had a top-tier team.
I believe you landed that plane in the East River.
That's right. It was
factual accuracy.
So, okay, as Charlie mentioned, they are a non-profit, and there seems to be this thinking that they want to just sell and become profit. They have about how much cash on hand?
$3 billion.
$3 billion. They redid Woodward Corners. It's a nice little area.
They created a shopping district.
So, no, Mark, you said M. You said with a B, Eric. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's
billion.
You're right. It's a B.
Thank you,
and if the merger was to go through, I'm only talking Eric's work here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Fox would pocket another $20 million.
That's the speculation.
Okay.
I don't know what he would have received, but the reason they say that's the speculation, because it's believed that the last CEO of Beaumont before this deal was done got about $20 million. Not Beaumont, Oakwood. Oakwood merged with Beaumont.
Yeah.
And the transparency with these companies is not very good, but it's believed to be $20 million, if not more. So people assume if Oakwood got $20 million, Fox would get more.
So once again, nonprofit with, and they are private, but with very little transparency. But if they're sitting on $3 billion, are they not putting any of that back into the hospital? Why do they have to keep cutting costs to do things with North Star or other cost-cutting measures? I mean, a lot of doctors are leaving.
Or sell your ambulance system, farm it out. Why?
Well, that boosts the profit margins, and that'll in turn boost John Fox's compensation and all of his deputies.
So the more they grow their cash fund, better it is for him. The more juicy it looks for a merger. That's where, because remember, it's a non-fucking profit.
Well, that's a whole other controversy. These nonprofits, Royal Oak would do a lot better taxing them and using the taxes than giving them the nonprofit status. But that's a whole other story.
So how's
if I could just
go ahead.
If I could just drive one point home for you guys, listening to you talk about Coney Island and what happened there. And you said somebody called the state and they were there right on the spot to deal with that. Well, I want to make sure you and your listeners are aware that one of the top lawyers in New York used to be a senior partner at Honigman. And several months ago, he wrote to your Attorney General, Dana Nessel, and put her on notice. It was a masterful letter saying things are very bad at Beaumont, and you're going to have another Flint on your hands. And nothing happened. The hospitals continue to deteriorate. Governor Whitmer's done nothing.
Is it their responsibility?
Well, Dana Nessel says it isn't, but you're a smart guy, so let me run this by you, okay? In order to merge Advocate Aurora with Beaumont, she had to approve the deal. Now, doesn't it seem like a reasonable, assumption that if she has to prove the deal, she has some authority over the institution itself?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Well, she claims she doesn't. And by the way, most states, going after hospitals is like a sweet spot for the Attorney General. Here in California, the Attorney General went after one of the biggest hospitals in the state for price gouging and, got over a $500 million settlement. And, Dana Nessel has never done anything close to that, something of that magnitude. And, as you guys are aware, Frank Kelly was one of the most respected attorney generals of all time, and he was the Michigan AG for 37 years.
So isn't there a check? I mean, there's a board of directors. What do they get out of all this? I mean, why aren't they checking John Fox or, anything else that's going on with the anesthesiology department?
That's a awesome question.
Thank you.
I have it written down right over here.
I'm sorry?
I have it written down over here. He's fake news in it.
Come on. I'm just copying Charlie like everyone else. Sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
So the CEO is John. The chairman of the board is John Lewis, who used to be a top executive of Comerica. And as I trust you guys are aware, Comerica used to be based in Detroit, but they hightailed it out of town to Dallas because they thought it was a better place to be. The scuttlebutt is that the entire board just follows John Lewis's lead, and they'll do what he says. And it's anybody's guess why John Lewis stands behind John Fox. I have no idea, and nobody else seems to know either.
What's the state of the merger right now?
The merger's done. That deal was too controversial.
You blew it up. It wasn't controversial. Look, I'm going to blow some smoke up your ass because it's well-deserved. I mean, you did us a favor in this state. You really did. Y'all might, I don't know if you're bored or not, but this is the biggest story that nobody was doing. And you, by pointing out the obvious, got some brakes put on that, and we're here to thank you for that.
Thank you. Michigan was really good to me, so I consider this a debt, repaying a debt.
Is that why you're doing it from L.A.? Hello, business writers and health writers and stuff. L.A., you got your ass whipped by a dude from L.A. and not a young guy. He's not even really getting... what does Alan pay you? He don't pay shit. No. He don't pay shit. He does it out of love. I'm assuming you do it out of love. I do it out of love because we're just like old dudes and like this is what we have always done. Is that why?
Yeah, it is why. And I want to just talk about what you said about the news. The news actually was a great paper in its day, and it was the joint operating agreement. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but when the news sold out to Gannett, and the first thing Gannett did was get this merger deal, they call it a joint operating agreement with the Free Press, that spelled the end of quality journalism in Detroit. Both papers were driven into the ground, and they're like shadows of their former selves.
It's really hard for me to criticize the writers and reporters seriously, in the sense that I don't think management has an idea of how people consume news now, that you don't need to busy your reporters shoveling shit and going to every news conference. You can put out less product as long as it's better product. What do you think about that, old timer?
I'm 100% with you. The problem is that these companies, this is a no bullshit show, so I'll say it.
Fucking
no bullshit. The people who run media companies aren't the brightest bulbs on the planet. And, I'll give you an example, just to put it all in perspective. Gannett, the last time I looked was, I think, the total value of the market cap means what, if you take all the stock outstanding and, it's the total value of the stock. It's about 600 million. And are you familiar with Nextdoor? It's those local, hyper-local websites.
Yeah.
They're kind of schlocky. There's hardly any work done with these things. Wall Street's valuing that at $2.5 billion. Now, what does that tell you? It's just that, it's the managements. Gannett was paying some journalists $2.5 million a year to be like editorial director.
Yeah.
That's obscene. And it's no wonder the company ran into trouble. And there are great people left at the news and the free press, but you got bad management, and they're corporations, and
they give out stinking little prizes to themselves, and they put it in the paper like it's some kind of news, and nobody's buying it. I don't care if you want a prize nobody heard of. It's not getting it done for me.
And it really seems to be, is that the way Beaumont's going now? Because all these journalists leave the news, and now all these doctors are
and everybody's, you know what everybody is? They leave, the journalists leave, reporters leave, and they become PR flunkies, and then they're paid to like bullshit and lie to what's left of the reporters, and then the management's a bunch of pussies.
It creates a hole.
And so we repeat it.
It creates a hole that's been filled by, like you said, Nextdoor or Facebook. What's going to fill a hole?
Or Daily Caller, or MSNBC, whichever one you want to believe in. There's nobody in there telling you the truth.
Starkman approved that blog. I mean,
that hack.
Those holes get filled. But what happens to a hospital when doctors vacate an area? I mean, that's my point being is that there's a real cost here to the everyday person that needs health care and quality health care at that when you think you're going to get that.
Now let's bring it around. I'm going to introduce this, and you're going to tell us, Eric, which is what's the human cost? Eric's doing the I Told You So tour, and it's horrible that he has to do it. The anesthesiologists are done January 1st. Now, a very heavy man, goes in for a colonoscopy, and he's dead. Eric, how did he die? They shove something up your butt. It's the happiest day of your life. Not the last day of your life.
To die, yeah, it's very common.
Well,
procedure.
For some people.
Yeah.
What happened? How do you die of a colonoscopy?
That's a lot of people are asking that. It was something related to intubation. And, I've talked to one of the leading authorities on anesthesiology. And, there's always a risk of intubation. She says it's rare that you intubate a colonoscopy patient in the first place. So that's one unanswered question. But even when things go wrong, that's what anesthesiologists are trained to do. That sometimes the body doesn't react the way it's supposed to, or they aspirate, but that's what they're trained to do. And it didn't happen. And I'm told I've been contacted by anesthesiologists and doctors from around the country. The story's gone viral. And they all tell me, don't just assume it's the fault of the CRNA, the certified registered nurse anesthetist, and the anesthesiologist. It's probably a systemic problem. What kind of resources did they have when they, were doing this procedure? That it didn't just happen in isolation. So,
meaning, like the man was overweight, so they were worried he might have trouble breathing. So, in order to avoid it, they put a breathing tube down his throat, right? And it went bad. Anesthesiologists don't make that call without a higher up, a doctor, and an attending.
Actually, that's not true. The anesthesiologist is the only one who can make that call. The surgeon or the gastroenterologist. It's early in the morning here. They cannot make that call. Only the anesthesiologist can.
But wouldn't it make sense that the person that was coming in, that their PCP takes into consideration the status of their health and those issues, whether it's his weight or any other respiratory issues or anything else that he has when scheduling or planning for his colonoscopy or any other procedure?
Man, you guys are good. That's one of the things that I'm hearing from people from Beaumont and I'm going to be following up on that, is the people saying that the due diligence that they expected wasn't done, that it was rushed. And you're right. There should be and I can't say that there wasn't. So let me be clear. That, maybe there was and I'm not aware of it. Beaumont, their MO is just to trash my work. They call me the CEO called me a mudslinging machine and
That's it?
Psycho
That's what he's
blogger
got?
and
Well, Eric, I can tell you this. I mean, I'm monitoring our social media comments while we're, doing the show. And everybody is talking about, one, they appreciate what you've done in terms of sharing information that a lot of these people have already known. They've got some horror stories that they're sharing. Obviously, Beaumont has declined to a level that a lot of people obviously either weren't aware of or have somehow overlooked. It is not what it used to be. And there are a ton of people that have worked there, that have gone there as patients, who recognize that. So they may not like you, but you've got a lot of people behind here that are on the show that are applauding what you've done.
And let's start fresh. Those of you chiming in on social media, if you have a tight, specific question for Eric, send it right now, and Karen will drop it to him.
I've got one. They seem to be.
I don't see you on the board here.
I typed it already. There's a lag. The board and John Fox seems to be more concerned with you as opposed to what their employees, particularly doctors, are saying. You talked about the exodus with the anesthesiologist,
the cardiologist,
yes,
surgeon, everybody.
Well, the orthopedic department has had a little issue, and Eric, you've written about the Dr. Fish. Is it Fishgrund?
I'm not. That's how I would pronounce it. I'm a print guy, so
okay.
I just write the stuff.
This is the head of that department, and they signed a new contract in 2019 with a company called Stryker, very well known company, to use
medical parts,
implants for people, hips,
right,
all those fun things. And the contract says they have to use 75% from that company, and then what do you know? This guy, this doctor, is also a consultant with this company that's made close to $1 million consulting for them. Is besides being unethical, is there anything illegal that he might have done?
I'm not aware of anything illegal, but you hit on, what's wrong with healthcare, all the conflicts in the industry that, they're getting rebates to use certain medical products that the orthopedic doctors the surgeons didn't want to use.
So the surgeons didn't want to use the materials from this company that they signed a contract with because they feel they're inferior.
And particularly trauma surgeons, because that's something that's quick and you want something that you're used to and that you know inside and out.
Is that what you found from your reporting?
Oh, yeah. They did not want to, and by the way, there's a lot of heroes at Beaumont, people that stood up and refused to bend to the will of John Fox and his management team. Some got fired, but there were the orthopedic surgeons that said, we're not going to use them, and didn't.
So is Beaumont in the next go around of grades, U.S. News World Report, whatever, are they going to be a top 50 hospital?
If they are, U.S. News and World Report has no credibility in my book.
Well, what's going to happen then? Is Fox going to be around until they sell to another big conglomeration of a healthcare company, or will he be swept out and they are going to return to their nonprofit roots?
Well, as I understand it, in addition to being a journalist for longer than I care to admit, I also ran a PR firm and worked with a lot of lawyers. One of the ironies of all this is the colonoscopy accident might actually, give some job protection to Fox, John Wilson, and Carolyn Wilson and David Wood, the chief medical officer, because the hospital's not going to want to admit any kind of wrongdoing or negligence. So if you somehow just fired the management team right after the colonoscopy death, people, a lawyer might use that against them. And
right.
I think it's pretty safe to say there's going to be litigation. The family's already retained a law firm.
Not another. I'm moving it to the left here now. Why did Beaumont shut down its Wayne campus? Does it have to do with it was supposed to be the COVID overflow hospital?
I don't believe that. I've just had somebody from the hospital contact me. Since the colonoscopy death, people are coming forward because they're angry. And, I don't want to say things that I don't have 100% confirmed. But,
leave it. I don't want that. But what you do know.
But what I do know is that it made no sense from a medical point of view to close Wayne. You know, Wayne is like probably one of the top hospitals in the Detroit area for indigents, you know, Medicare patients, poor people. So, you know, you could never get away with closing the hospital in Farmington Hills, I don't think. But
indigent makes my bells go off. I think profit.
Yeah.
I think profit. One more question, then I'll let you go. This was brought to me by a listener, a member of our community here, a vet. He's a vet. And we all now know that one of the good things about the Trump administration was if you're a vet, you don't just have to go to the VA. Mm-hmm. You can go to any participating hospital, show them your card, and you'll get taken care of, and the government will get billed. Is Beaumont part of that veteran system?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, that's news to me, but that doesn't mean it's not true. I'm trying to look, and
I don't know. And that's when I was reaching out to you. It's like, if anybody knows, please let us know. And Beaumont, return the call, and we'll love to have you on. And any hospital system that's not part of the VA system, you can go fuck yourself. You really can.
Pretty much.
And not a public dollar should go to you. That's what I feel. Any last words, John? Eric?
Yeah, the one thing I do want to mention, though, is that when they closed Wayne, they took a lot of those patients to the VA hospital.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Oh.
So they have no problem with...
Okay, well, I don't know if that's true, and we're not no bullshit news hour, but if you do know, let me know. I'm still waiting for that answer. It's a shame for all the people working in PR and in the government and these nonprofits, they really don't seem to be able to answer a question when it's a real one. You noticing that, bro?
They can't.
They don't want to.
Exactly. They're not able to. I mean, you know the game, Charlie. It's and Eric, if you've been in that side, you've been on the other side of it, it's all strategic. It's all deliberate. It's all intentional. It's not organic.
That's for you, Eric.
I think, though, greater pressure has to be put on the political leadership of Michigan. I think what's happened at Beaumont is public record. The governor let it collapse. Your attorney general let it collapse. Debbie Dingell and Rashida Tlaib. Beaumont Wayne is their area.
Boo! That's a nonpartisan. Boo! Do your jobs.
Yeah.
You work for us. We're getting eaten alive again. I think I voted for Whitmer. I don't remember because I go third party a lot. Come on.
Well, going back to the very beginning, they could do something about this. If they have to approve a merger, then they could probably look into what's going on at Beaumont a little more than what they are. Because what's going to happen is they're going to sell. John Fox is going to take his alleged $20 million somewhere out of the state, and we're left with a crumbling
to North Carolina.
The biggest hospital system in the state is crumbling and is just a
North Carolina.
Yeah,
I got a limerick about North Carolina.
Yeah.
Every time I hear North Carolina, I think of the limerick. Want to hear it, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay. There once was a girl named Alice who used the dynamite stick as a phallus. They found her vagina in North Carolina and bits of her tits were in Dallas.
Hey, all right.
I know, it's pretty good.
Next time so I can cover my ears.
Oh, you're fine.
Stop it.
I've heard much worse.
Listen, if you've got a headache, try Henry Ford. It's clean, they treat him well, and I know the chief of trauma.
Eric, a lot of people are saying you've been one of the best guests on No BS, and we've had some great guests. So I just want you to know that a lot of people are listening, and they do appreciate you being here. So I wanted you to know that.
Get the fuck out, really?
Yeah, somebody just said that he's one of the best guests. They said a lot of echo. They said he is a great guest. Yeah, we get great comments. Just like people are quick to share criticism, I also think you need to know, especially given, just like Charlie, when you work hard to do the right thing, you need to know that there are people that recognize and appreciate it. That's all.
I do. We really do, man. You're doing us a solid here. And look how smart the audience is. Now, and I don't like audience and show. I don't like the words I use them. I think we're a community. And hey, you know what? We're going to try a business writer who's writing about a hospital. Mm-hmm. It's got a real potential to collapse. Who cares? And I'm glad so smart everybody is. We miss guys like you.
And he's giving a voice to the doctors and the employees who just can't openly talk about what's going on there.
Exactly. Thanks, brother. You're the match. If you want to hang, please do. But we're now going to move on. You want to hang out for the rest of the news?
Yeah, I have to take care to make a call, but it's been great here, and I'd love to come back. You guys are a lot of fun.
Okay, man. Thanks, brother. And
Thanks,
really,
Eric.
keep up the good work. Let us know what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay. That's Eric Starkman. He does more than just Beaumont. He does a lot of where he's out west. You go to starkmanapproved.com, right?
Mm-hmm. And Deadline, like you mentioned, picks up.
Deadline
DeadlineDetroit.com picks them up as well.
Which is so cool. Look, Deadline Detroit. I write there. I did a good one, I think, today. Go look.
Now you disclose it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Look at Red. Wait, look at Red. He's freezing his balls.
I know. I was thinking Red's gonna look like Jack Torrance from The Shining by the time we get to
He
him.
really does look red now. He's fucking freezing.
Poor guy.
He's having a stroke.
He's doing important work too, though.
He is. He's out there. But we'll get to Red live at a mammoth garbage hole. It appears to be out in the center of Detroit. We'll bring you that in a moment. But we're going to bring you next week's news today, which is brought to you by ADR Consultants. And listen, if you can't get the COVID vaccine distributed, try ADR.
Jesus.
They do logistics. They do. If you can't get the Flint water plant fixed, try ADR. They're experts in government compliance. They get shit done. Right? You need housing stock. Low income, you call ADR, right?
Yeah.
You need cameras. You need sound spotting for your police department. You call ADR. Nothing's too big, nothing's too small, bro.
Can you fix Eric's echo?
I don't care. But you're all right.
I'll fix it.
Fuck
Don't
it. It's COVID. What are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
ADR experienced. ADR competent. ADR honest, ethical, smart. They've done more than $250 million in private and public construction projects since 2001, amongst other things. So call Barry Allen Tuck at 248-318-9424 if you want the fucking vaccine distributed.
Huge problem.
On time and on budget.
The logistics on that are crazy. You and I were talking, Charlie. I said, if Amazon and Chick-fil-A can get it right, it's doable in terms of handling, high volume logistics. So you can't get Jeff Bezos or the guy from Chick-fil-A, call ADR.
Okay, they're nicely done. So let's mix up the news. Let's go to item number 3 and make it item number 1 to flow right from that. Here's, again, another member of the community hipping me, going, what do you make of it? So I went to the Michigan Department of Health influenza, flu data dashboard. Let me find it here. Here we go here. Okay.
The silver lining of COVID, I guess.
Congregate setting outbreaks. Outbreaks in schools, old people homes, healthcare facilities, daycare, homeless shelters, correctional facilities.
For influenza?
Yeah, for flu, the flu.
Mm-hmm.
So far, this flu season, ending January 23rd, 0. 0. Not one outbreak. 2 people getting it from each other.
Wow.
You believe that?
No.
Do you believe that? I know.
No.
Come on, you keep up with it. No, wait, say it again. Say it again.
It's funny you said, because I was just reading a story about nationwide. It's way down, obviously, because of, masks and everybody's been shut inside and everything's been shut down. And maybe people aren't going to go get it done. But zero's just always seems, if
0.
If you're going to lie about it, maybe put 2 down.
0. Now, in terms of how many cases across the state,
Yeah.
that, people walk in, the doctor referred, blah, 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 across the state for week 3, 24 cases of the flu?
Wow.
Come on.
Charlie, everybody's talking about, the failed logistics there, as Tammy's 83-year-old mother can't even get on the waiting list in Lapeer. Debbie's said her 97-year-old neighbor can't get a vaccine. She's on all the lists.
The fuck?
It is a mess.
So the mayor of Detroit strutting around. Look, the Wayne County executive is bitching because Washtenaw is getting double the doses they're getting.
Because they're getting them into people.
Oh,
If you get them into people, you're going to get more doses.
they got some kind of formula, right, where like your population needs it, you get more.
Sure.
In terms of big counties, Wayne County and Oakland County got old people. Washtenaw young. Your model doesn't fit your model. Let me say this. All you out there, here's why I flipped it. Karen, you called Mike Duggan's super hotline. We're really getting them out there. Throws out some bullshit numbers. What'd you find when you called the hotline, Karen?
Well, I am not big on inefficient phone prompts. And so I didn't really feel like it was well thought out or informative. They said that the wait to even schedule an appointment or to have somebody answer the phone was in excess of 30 minutes. Time out. Yes.
You called up and they said,
well, they gave the prompts. If in fact this is an emergency, call 911. If you have questions, this is not the place to do it. You have to be a part of one of the designated groups, although they did not confirm which those groups were.
You're burying the lead. How long was the wait?
For somebody to answer the phone in excess of 30 minutes.
And you need someone to answer the phone to schedule.
You have to have somebody answer the phone to schedule the appointment. But the thing that threw me off, Charlie, was that they were saying you can't ask any questions. Like if you have questions, hang up. Like
go to the website.
This is not the place. So I'm thinking and they kept sending people to the health department website. So if you're a senior and you're calling, and certainly there's a lot of information that's coming at you in all ways, you may have some questions even in the process of scheduling your appointment. I thought it was a little disingenuous and kind of, condescending to say, if you have questions, don't call us, hang up.
Yeah, and then get back in line for a half an hour. Come the fuck on.
That's in excess of 30 minutes. I mean, that's unrealistic. It's unfair and it's inefficient, if you ask.
Now, here's the news. Here's where I don't buy bureaucracy. Ready? Drum roll, please. Guess how many influenza shots were distributed in Michigan so far for this flu season?
No idea.
3 million.
Wow.
So how are you, listen folks, how are you distributing 3 million flu shots and you can't get the COVID shots out? Anybody? Hello, McFly?
I think there's too many levels of bureaucracies in the way. If the federal government, and I know
Bueller, Ferris,
I know
Bueller.
COVID's a little different because, some of them need the Pfizer ones needs the deep freezers and blah, blah, blah. But do we really, why can't we have a company that deals with logistics and distribution handle it instead of multiple levels of federal?
We got hacks.
County it's just.
We got hacks that the health officials,
the
county officials tell me, and you've heard them on this program, they change it. In 24 hours, you're getting 70% of the doses. You're getting 60. What the fuck? Here's what the counties want. They don't want you to give them the vaccine. You know what they want? They want you to give the tracking number of the vaccine, send them state directly to the hospitals and the pharmacies, so it's not a middleman holding a bunch of shots.
Exactly. Cut out the middle.
Fuck on.
Cut out the middlemen, period.
Jesus. How far are we into this?
Now, I've got a couple of people saying, that they went and they got it without any problems. But I'm also seeing some folks that, like Wendy said, she's tried calling. She's pushed every button. And then by the time she got through, it says, we're currently out of the vaccine. Thank you for your understanding. So I guess people are having mixed responses in terms of, how they're accessing.
I'm glad you got the shots. That's the way it's supposed to work. There's too many people that don't. There's too many people not getting their unemployment. These are basic things.
I talked to my dad yesterday, and I asked him, I said, any movement on you getting your shot? He goes, I honestly am just giving up because it's been, and he lives in Washtenaw County, and he's tried the health department there. He's tried the VA because he's a vet, and they said, no, you're not in that level.
Yes.
So I said, well, you have a residency in Ohio. You want to go down to Ohio? Because they're giving them out.
What's the old man saying?
They're giving them out at the pharmacies.
What's the old man saying?
Well, my mom said that's not the right way to do it.
Well, that's true. She's trying to be fair.
She is.
And look, Ohio's got a whole different
maddening. Yeah,
Ohio's got a whole different game of how they're running, and the numbers are similar.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a feeling we know what we know, which is this attacks old people who live in institutions. People catch it, but it's the old people who die, right? No matter how you're behaving. Florida looks a lot like Michigan. Looks, New York's a whole nother case because it's so crowded. I don't know, but I do know something about flus and, how they spread. Spring, winter, spring. You see a height, then it goes down, then it comes. They're predicting another spike in the spring, are they not?
That's true.
For
COVID.
For COVID, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we really dropped that, really bent the curve. Well, maybe it's got to do just with biology.
Well, let's just get shots into people. People want them.
Okay, well, let's do this. Next piece of news. Whitmer said she was going to do a pause for restaurants for 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
We now know it turned into 3 months, and it was all of them. She quotes science. They tweeted some science that they're referring to, such a study. I went and looked at it. The mobility network models of COVID-19 explain inequities and inform reopening.
What does that mean?
Okay, it means basically, here's the abstract. It's from PhD candidates at Stanford, headed by Serena Chang. Basically, they modeled people's movements. Your cell phone, your data, how you walk around, is being collected and sold.
So much.
They know where you're going. So they got 98 million people. Where you going? Then they stuck a model on it, like the rate of spread. Right? They don't have specific super spreader stuff that they injected. What they did was they modeled it. So right there, you could argue about the study. Nevertheless, the sum total of this says this: the sweet spot, the best spot for business and public safety would be to cut down occupancy to 20%, like in restaurants.
Gotcha.
Why? And bars and movie theaters. Why? Because most times a restaurant isn't at capacity. So if you did it at 20%, the business would lose 40% of its foot traffic, meaning it would keep 60% of its foot traffic, which we can extrapolate to be 60% of your business. If we limit your occupancy to 20%, what would that do? That would mitigate the spread, according to this model, by 87%. Okay.
That's the trade-off.
Not a COVID denier. I wear my mask. I am not that guy. I love life, and I want everybody else to have one. But why did we not have 20%? Why did we have 0%? You fucking ruined a bunch of businesses when your own science that you told me to read says the sweet spot is 20%.
Well, my issue with it is that you just explained it better than any of those press conferences that the governor has had repeatedly. All she says is science, but Charlie's doing a nice little movement.
That's why you don't want me at the press conference, and these press conferences stink.
But you explained
because you can't ask a follow-up.
And she's just never explained. I don't know if she thinks we're all stupid or we can't digest it, but
we've all picked sides.
Yeah.
We've all picked sides, and we don't want to hear science.
Here's the other thing, too. There's plenty of other models, too. Maybe look at more than one. Maybe they did. But once again, very little communication on that.
Okay, this is from CapCon.
Right? Oh, I love CapCon.
CapCon. It is a wing of Capital Confidential.
Okay.
It's the Mackinac Center.
Okay.
Right? It's a libertarian think tank.
Okay.
Right in the middle, market-based. You know Gordon, the Director of Health and Human Services? Well, it was, this mixed COVID response to his folks, and it was mixed. It was mixed, right? Nursing home data, et cetera, et cetera. During all of this, when we were all laid off and couldn't get our unemployment, he got an 8% pay increase up to $175,000. He got a pay increase.
Why?
We all got to row this boat together. Pay increase.
This is some
Another Whitmer appointee who's now in charge of the Unemployment Insurance Agency.
Oh, they're doing a great job.
That crashed on Monday when you told everybody to sign up on Monday. She got a 10% pay raise during COVID.
Why? Is this contractual bullshit?
It's government. No. It's government. These are appointees, so, they're not covered by the...
Well, I just figure, do they have a contract that says they get a bump in pay? But that's horse shit.
Man, shit.
She could see,
Come on, now. Next piece of news. Red's all right. We're almost to you, Red. Okay?
Crazy.
Has he become blue?
They don't write folk songs about the wipers of other people's bottoms. You know that? You ever heard a folk song about wiping an old person's ass? They should. Because last week alone, more than 10% of the people in Michigan who have died during the COVID pandemic caring for the institutionalized elderly died last week alone. 8 out of 82. They worked specifically in adult foster care homes, murky institutions that are licensed and supposedly inspected by the state of Michigan, but do not get the attention like the nursing homes. In fact, no data was kept. But like the nursing homes, there's still a yawning shortage of PPE in the adult foster care facilities. That's a fact, and nobody picked up on it. So, my friends out there, listen, if you know somebody that works in adult foster care specifically, because they're forgotten, okay? You let me know, you message me. I have some masks and I have some gloves. It's the very least we could do. We're all a community. I ain't gonna sit here and bitch without trying to do something. Just message me on Facebook. You can find my email. I'll get it to you if I got it left. Okay? Good?
Yeah.
In the beginning, Charlie, I don't know if you remember when all this first broke, you made sure you got access to gloves, you got access to masks, and you were distributing those long, before this got fully underway. So, I mean, this isn't anything new for you.
And the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, when we remember the outrage that's the jail, the sheriff is dead, the commander of maximum security is dead, the 2 doctors are dead, they didn't know they died. She puts out a press release applauding herself that she got some dental masks.
Oh, boy.
That's your job.
But the whole thing is again, and we talk about this at the municipal level, but it's all about the narrative. People can only respond to what they're being told.
Ooh.
And I'm just saying, residents, we have to depend for the most part on the media to tell us what's going on. If in fact the media only takes what they're being fed from the source, then that information becomes subjective and we're placed at a disadvantage as a result.
Yep.
Amen.
Now, here comes one, media. Ready? I know. All right already. The chief of police, James Craig, did a drive around with Denzel back in 91. All right, great story. Here's another story. Shootings in the city are up 45%. We just passed a year where the shootings were up 53%. That's 100%. Swear to God. There's a study. What was it? My Wallet, Fat Wallet? What's it?
Nerd Wallet?
Wait.
I don't know.
I think it's Nerd Wallet.
They're a good site.
Pretty good. Wallet Hub.
Wallet Hub, okay. A lot of wallets.
The cities whose unemployment rates are bouncing back the most.
Okay.
Top 180 cities. Number one's bouncing back the most. Number 180's bouncing back the least. In between 1 and 180, where do you think Detroit is? Plus or minus 10. Let's play a game. All you out there on social media, quick. Like Price is Right.
Yeah.
1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20. Quick and go. Karen?
I guess 60. That's what I guess.
60. Yes. Pretty good. Top third. Bounce back. Sounds like Mike Duggan.
Oh, I'll
campaign. That's good.
I'll say 160.
160. Anybody out there pick one, Karen? Anybody doing it?
Not yet. Kara says, no, she just said plus 10. Eva says 180.
It is 180. That's right. Who said that?
Eva.
Eva Welch said 180. Jennifer said 160. Mark said 170.
It's 180.
Dead last.
Robert said 4.
Okay, listen. It's over. It's too late. Stop it.
Do Sherry said 179. Sean said 50. You ask everybody, they want
Eva won.
Yeah, you're right. Because they took the time to do it. 177 Aurora, Colorado. 178 Hialeah, Florida. 179 Miami. 180 Detroit with a 22% unemployment rate. It's tripled.
Oh my God.
It's tripled.
Hey, Thomas said 185. He said,
my man. And dude, Thomas, man, if they decide to do like Peoria, they fuck us too. Peoria. Get some shit together, man.
Oh, that's sad.
You knew it. I knew it.
You know what the saddest part is?
I saw this because, the publicist emails me their stuff. And always on these quality of life measurements, I always instantly go to the bottom and start going up.
That's what I was going to say. That's the saddest part about it is so many of us said, 170, 180, 160. The expectations are so low.
Okay, now, so all of that, hey, man, somebody in the police department, in aviation, I'm told by John Bennett. Yeah. John Bennett, retired. Everybody in Detroit that is in media or cares about the police knows John has got his ear to the ground. He's the most source guy in there. He's reporting that a member of aviation took the helicopter Took it to Pontiac.
So many questions. Why? How?
Okay, the guy obviously wanted to do some flight training. You know, you got to do flight training.
Yeah.
To keep your license, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, he took it without permission. I don't know how you're clearing air traffic control, right? He's also charging the city overtime. Okay, and why is everybody pissed? Because there was a call for the helicopter while he was off at Sunday in fucking Pontiac.
Of course there was going to be a call, no matter when he took it.
What the fuck? Put the helicopter back.
Did he respond? And two, was his overtime approved?
This isn't even public, but I asked John if, you know, how good is it? Can I quote you? He goes, it's 100% solid.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to read about it in the paper next week.
Wow. Fucking joyriding. Son of a bitch. Okay, 2 more and then we go into red at the hole.
Red.
I would like to say Matt Stafford has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams. It's a very good squad. He might be the piece that gets them over. Just a few years ago, they were in the Super Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. We had Jared Goff. I don't know.
He sucks.
He sucks. I mean, but
I'm not a fan.
I want to say Matt Stafford. I know it didn't happen here, man, but you were tough. You showed up to work. You're a lunch pail guy. You know, are you the most gifted quarterback ever? No. Are you gifted? Yes. This is just Detroit.
He really took to the city, to the area, too.
He did. I ain't going to really miss his wife's tweeting or anything like that.
No.
But hey, Matt, always a lion, bro. I make fun of the Lions.
Yeah.
But they're mine.
Rightfully so. He will, too, now.
And I want him to get his ring.
Yeah.
I won't be mad. I mean, good luck.
I hope he does. I hope he has wild success out there.
I do too.
I'm being serious. I really hope he does.
I'm like that. I'm not a hater. I want a guy to be fulfilled.
Well, I think a lot of people like him, even if they didn't think he was the guy, he was the quarterback, because a lot of people shit on him a lot. But
now I want to see. Go ahead. What, Karen?
Let's all chip in and get his house.
That is a nice house.
Is it a McMansion?
Oh no, it's a straight up mansion.
Is it an old stone one?
You wouldn't even, it's out on Orchard Lake. You would not even imagine that they have homes like that here, but they do. A lot of people don't realize it, but I looked at the listing. Beautiful. I think we could do a great job doing the podcast from there.
It's weird. Karen's weird. She's peeping. Let me have a look at. Well, the bathrooms are nice.
Hey, she's not the only one. Did you
go through his closet?
Karen's, she's going to pretend she's interested just to walk through it.
When they gave a tour of the Manugia and once Kilpatrick got tossed in the can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I went in the liquor cabinet. He left the purple, whatever the shit it was. He drank purple.
Hypnotic?
Stuff. They have a bowling alley in the Manugian.
Really?
Yeah.
It's only like 1 or 2 lanes, but it's in the bay. There is one.
Now, finally, here's what I got a tip. Thank you for sending it. Somebody inside kind of got it on good information. I got this Monday morning. I'm hearing there's a handshake deal for the Detroit Pistons.
Really?
Pistons for sale. So Karen knows people around. I put in a few calls. Couldn't really make heads or tails of it, but you have to know this. What's his name? Matt
Ishbia.
Ishbia. He's the CEO of
United Wholesale Mortgage.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The second biggest mortgage broker in the country after Rocket, Quicken.
Yep, you got it, yeah.
Okay, he went to Michigan State University, played 4 years under Izzo, right? He did an IPO, right, with a guy out in Beverly Hills with a guy named Alec Goris.
Name sounds familiar.
Who's the brother of Tom Goris, the owner of the Pistons.
Yep.
So so they did an IPO together, and I was told there was some kind of handshake deal. Once the stock straightens out and you're able to jettison some of it, that he's going to make a move for the Pistons. Now, funny thing is, he gave $32 million to Michigan State yesterday. Mm-hmm. I think $20 million of it's to sports.
Of course.
God.
Yeah.
Okay. And he said, Cranes, look at me crediting you. He told Cranes, right, that he would someday he would like to own a professional franchise. One would assume it's basketball. He's a Big Ten basketball player, right?
Yeah.
Hometown Pistons makes sense, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's everything Tom Goris expected it to be.
The other side of this story, though, remember, Tom Goris is under heavy criticism and scrutiny for his involvement in the communication telephone provision for prisons, which I assume he makes a lot of money from. So think about that. Maybe this is his way of backing out, his brother and their partner. I mean, this is all chess, not checkers. So
let's put it this way. Tom Gores is a horrible fucking owner, and he's a horrible corporate citizen. For instance, the Pistons are in the basement.
Terrible.
They were in the basement last year. They're terrible. Like, you have no business owning them. Number two, you took a piece of that Little Caesars arena that we fucking pay for. The poorest people in America, because we're 180 on the list. We're also the brokest. We're also the most violent. And ain't nothing coming back. So get rid of it. Having said that, all parties that we just discussed are denying it to Cranes. But good for you, Cranes, showing up to, getting an interview before a press conference. But we were on it. I just really thought we had one.
It's a really interesting story.
This is a little information that I was privy to. Let me throw this out here.
Oh, good. Hold on.
I don't need the music. That's not my job.
We need it.
Listen,
okay.
But the Pistons were buying into the narrative that they were buying into the narrative early on that the city was coming back, and everything felt and read to be so exciting, and they were so anxious to be a part of it because there's no way that they should have come to the city without building their own stadium. So they kind of undercut themselves by backdooring a deal, if you will, or cutting a deal to get in on the Little Caesars Arena component. So they cut themselves short on that because Tom was anxious to get in on what he thought was taking place in downtown Detroit.
Okay, so let's do this for the sports fan. All right. The Tigers finished last year in what place in their division?
Last.
And the year before?
Last.
Okay, and the Red Wings this year are what in their division?
Last time I looked, they were last.
And what about last year?
Last.
Like in the league? Okay.
Pretty sure, yeah.
The Pistons are what in their division?
Shitty.
Last. And last year?
Very low. Yeah.
And now the Lions finished what in their division?
Last.
And what about last year?
Last.
What the fuck? Sell them all.
It's not
Give it to the city. Give it to Mike. Give it to Duggan.
Not a good time.
Yeah, this stinks.
It does.
And then you look back and Snyder was running. And look at Flynn. Oh, come on. I mean, really?
What a mess.
Look at the federal government. We just had a growth period, and Trump's spending like a drunk sailor. Like the economy's supposedly growing, and we're borrowing $1 trillion.
Yeah, why not?
The fuck?
Why not?
God damn it. Fix the roads. Fix the damn roads.
And fix Red. Is Red alive?
Oh, yeah, it's Red alive. Red.
So I'm worried about him.
Red is a snowman.
Let's have a look here.
He's been outside this whole time.
Okay, Red. Hold on here. Are you there, Red?
Hello.
How are you? You been enjoying the show, Red?
Fuck no, not the last 2 minutes. It's cold as shit out here. You do a lot for this goddamn city. I better get a key or a toothpick or something.
Get a toothpick in the city.
So, Red, you're in the middle of the city. You're drop dead middle of Detroit. No man's land Detroit, right? Industrial Detroit. Is that about right?
Yes. Yes. Just to paint a quick scenery, I don't know if you can see behind me.
Let me set this up first. So what we did was I just thought it'd be a great gag to send Red out in the middle of a polar vortex to do some digging, so to speak, which is we got word that there's a potential another site in the city where potentially we're just starting here to do some research that demolition debris may once again be being thrown in the city, or dirt is being excavated and we can't keep track of it. So, right, go ahead, Red. Set the scene for us.
So behind me, you can see this pole, this light pole behind me.
Yeah. Oh,
that pole is actually being covered. Is encased in a mound of dirt that's at least 15, 20 feet high. There's dumpsters everywhere. There's a couple pieces of construction equipment. And then I'm going to turn this around, see if you guys can get you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get as close to this edge of this as I can.
Let me set it up for the listener, not the viewer. You look like basically Admiral Byrd, and you're making your way across the Arctic tundra. Okay.
Listen here. I can't even tell you what the fuck is in these holes, but I can say sticking up out of the snow.
Turn around towards the hole. Turn around towards the hole. Put the camera
There we go. Can you see the hole?
Yeah, that's right. So is that dirt filling the hole, or is that just?
It looks like it's a combination of dirt and some type of rubble, but by it being covered with snow, I can't make it out, and I don't want to try to cross over because I don't see where to step. But where
I want you to go right there. You see that bit sticking out there right in front of you right there?
Yeah, straight
Go
ahead.
ahead,
That looks like a
brush
pile
the
of
snow
rock.
off that, Red.
Oh man, I don't want him to fall in this hole.
What
okay.
happened?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I want you to brush. There's a little lump right there. I want you to brush it off right there. Right there.
Right here. Let me see what I can.
Let's see what we get there.
Let's see here.
Well,
here,
hey, Red,
right
I mean, you're hell of a good reporter, dude. This is what I do. This is the beginning.
It definitely looks like some type of.
Let's see it. Pull it up.
That's a piece of trash.
Oh, you know what that is? Let me see that. Hold that up. Oh, you know, that looks like asbestos, dude. No, it does. It looks like a.
Really?
Yeah.
Really threw it. Good.
Let's see it. Looks like
I see pieces of
tar paper or.
Tar paper is what it looks like, yeah, from a roof.
And then right there.
Yeah, pull that up.
It looks like a slab of concrete.
Slab of concrete. God damn. Okay, now I want to do.
If we come back over here where I was standing near the hole, we got us a little bit of good old
pipe.
That right iron.
Rod, yeah.
Rebar.
Yeah, that looks like construction to me. But what we'll do, just keep your back to the hole, Red. Just like that.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so
I did a little research of my own on Google Earth and Google Maps to get a street view of this location, which goes back about a year and a half ago as they last updated.
So listen for our viewers. We put it up here. You see this nice, put it up, guys.
Yes.
It's a nice green lot. You guys see that?
Yep.
No dirt mounds, no construction debris. There's some grass. Show me the street level. Looks like a park. So what the fuck? Look, I don't know. I've never heard of, but it does. We're only beginning. Not accusing anybody of anything. We just know the city is shitting themselves about it. The word's going around, and this is the beginning of an investigation. I've never heard of the city issuing an excavation permit, right? To take dirt to fill demolition.
Dump, yeah.
Maybe they did. We'll look into it.
In there too.
Huh?
Directly on the other side of this hill, a mound of dirt or whatever this is, it's right against the back of a neighborhood. I tried to come around it. You can't. But it's right butted up against the back of a neighborhood. This family's living no more than about 100, 200 feet from here.
Yeah, you can see it on Google Earth.
We're on this. Because
so, and I'm going to say this. At first, I thought it was a pothole, but I knew it wasn't because it had something in it. So, we don't know what it is, like Charlie said, but we're going to definitely find out. Hopefully, I get sent back out here when it's not an Arctic blast going on.
Right. And I know that you are not allowed to dump demolition debris, construction debris in a lot. It's got to go to the landfill, right? We've been through this on this show. I've showed you Google Earth before.
It's a perfectly fine lot too,
right? We got the the DEQ, and everybody make them clean it up. How many times we got to fucking do this? Here's our goddamn neighborhood, and this shit better be right. This better be right, or we're on your ass. Now, Red, before we go, I want you to drop down and give us a snow angel. Karen got a question.
Yeah, let me ask you. That's not going to happen here because I might get stuck in the ass by a piece of ribbon. I tell you what, when I get somewhere by...
Karen, hey, Red. Karen, go ahead.
Hold on. Is there a name? Harold is asking, is there a name on the construction equipment, like a company name?
We ain't doing that, Harold.
Do you see a name?
Harold, no. We're not doing that just yet.
Do that right now because we're just beginning.
We
don't want to put nobody out that ain't did nothing wrong.
Got it, Harold. You know what I mean, man. We just looking. We just noticed we get some calls. We got some people in City Hall. We got some people in the business. We got some satellite stuff. We'll wait. But who wants to join us? Newspapers want to like rip us off again and then pretend like you did something, or do you want to go do something? You want to go do something?
And I'm gonna say this, and I ain't no specific reporters in mind, but if I got my ass up out here, out the warm office in the studio, and freezing to death, look, I don't even have my fingertips is as red as my goddamn hat now. You can get the hell up out your apartment in front of your bookcases and all that bullshit and come do some work.
Amen.
That's all I'm saying.
Word him up. That's my man.
That's beautiful.
All right, Karen, I'm going to leave you with the last word. Let's get Red out of there. Red, be careful.
Warm up.
Warm up.
I'll holler at you guys later.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Thanks.
Mark, Karen, last word.
Or Red. Why?
Hey, I just, Charlie, I just hope everybody is continuing to pay attention, and that this information is accessed here on YouTube.
Can we get Red to take Red the fuck off?
Red's in the middle of a blizzard.
Yeah, take him off. What'd you say, Karen?
No, I'm just saying, I mean, you bring a lot of information to the table.
Somebody
Charlie,
mute Red, please. You're like Sasquatch. He called me, before we went on air. I thought he's stroking out. I couldn't take it.
He was miserable today.
Oh, my God.
But I'm glad he did that work.
Man, he's so broke, he can't afford gloves with all the fingers on them.
That's so he can type, Charlie. That's why. But he needed some gloves on. I was just saying that, you bring a lot of information, a wealth of information to the show and to our listeners and viewers. I want people to act on that information, allow it to make a difference in the decisions you make, in the demands that you make, and in the accountability for the people that you elect and that you listen to. It has to make a difference.
Hold their feet to the fire, right, Karen? Jeez.
That's what I did.
If that's what if that is what I'm being told it is, and I don't know. I mean, these things take a while, but we're going to show you the process. And it's near a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we're all fighting with each other. Your side, my side. What about our side against their side? What about our kids versus the pigs getting raises and not doing their job and hiring their niece? It's really simple. I don't hate government. I just feel better when it's not around. And when I call for it, it can't respond.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't take stupid shit for an answer.
There's a lot of those, too. A lot of stupid shit for answers.
I want people to get on, listen to one of those governor press conferences. Here's the trick. Whether they're in, it's Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not so much they're picking the question or picking the person that bothers me so much. It's the fact that the person that asked the question can't get at least two follow-ups.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, you're right.
Empty answer. We move on to the next one. Empty answer.
Yeah. Well, hold their feet to the fire. Follow up on this Beaumont thing, too. It just drives me up a wall.
Well, they try, and then it's superficial shit. You got to.
Yeah.
You got to leave it to Starkman.
Well, he's doing a great job.
He's doing a great job.
It's a mess.
He's doing a great job. I want to dedicate this show to Shu Harris, whose son was shot dead in Highland Park at Avalon Village, the little town from nowhere that she built from a dream when her younger son was run over and killed. She took a crossroad, took a whole block, remade it into something beautiful. Now her older son, who was holding his brother's hand when he got hit by the car, has been murdered. And she's going to go on. And that's the kind of people I love.
I don't know how.
I'm sorry to bring it down like that, but I'm just thinking of her. And if y'all...
He's thanking you for what you did. I'm sorry. I just want to interject because I know you try to just avoid it, but she acknowledged, the Herculean task that you undertook to help generate funding and support for Avalon Village. So, that's admirable. Don't overlook that.
Thank you for that. She did it though. She took an abandoned block, rebuilt a whole house, and it's a homework center for kids, a safe place, a warm place, an after-school place, in a place that doesn't have it. And I don't know why we don't have it. You know what I mean? We can't have all the kids are hurting. All of them. So, whatever your political outlook is, challenge it. It makes it stronger when you do, right? Your argument is stronger when you know your opponent's argument. Try to see their point of view. I didn't say convert. You know what I mean? It'll be a better place.
Amen.
Till next week, fix the shit, right? You can get those shirts at the Drew and Mike shop.
Store.com.
DrewandMikeStore.com. I picked this for red. Leave it on. Leave it on, Joe. Later, y'all. See you, Karen.
Mama.